Good morning, welcome to Talk with Lady Z. Thank you for joining and welcome to the show. My name is Zara Aliu. Today, I'd like to quickly look back at last week's topic. We discussed factors to consider before settling down in marriage, and some people were asking me to give them a clear explanation about what some of the things I listed means. So I'm here to talk about those things, particularly compatibility and family background. So I'd like to quickly expatiate on all of these things before I dip into today's topic. Today's topic is a topic a lot of people do not want to dive in, but I will. Stay tuned. So, about compatibility, someone was asking. Compatibility in marriage does not necessarily mean that you have to share the same ideology, views with your partner. No, it means that the two of you can reach each other halfway, and you're able to live and coexist very well with one another. You're able to settle out your differences with very little time. You can do a lot of things together. It doesn't mean that you have to share the same ideas. It just means that when one person brings something, the other person says, oh wow, it's cool. Let me give you an instance. Somebody very close, I'll give you somebody very close. I saw this happen, not like I was told. His wife was telling him that, do you know something is wrong with the generator switch? Can you? I'm not a technician. Why are you telling me? I'll call a technician too. Such things are not supposed to happen. I mean, if you're compatible, I don't think such things should happen. You should give a sweet answer like, oh, okay, I'll get a technician to fix it. Don't worry. So there are so many things that happen in marriage that a lot of women have to shoulder. Yeah. So we're going to be discussing all of that. Then family background is very important. How can you be getting into a lifelong something and you will not do a thorough search? It doesn't make sense. You have to check the kind of mother-in-law you have, or your father-in-law. She too has to check who his in-laws will be. If they are troublesome people, if they go to the market square to go and fight, if they have mental illness in their family. There are so many things to check, for God's sake. There are so many things to check. I'm lucky to have one of the best mother-in-law in the world. I am very happy to say that. I don't have issues regarding in-laws, and I thank God my husband too does not have issues in my family. So everything is going on very well, peacefully. So family background is really important. It's not about checking if they are wealthy or they are not wealthy. That's not what it means. So what it means that you need to check to guarantee you, because sometimes what people go through in their family, they can carry it into their real life and it's going to affect your marriage. So you need to do a thorough search on the family background. You need to ask people around. You need to do a lot of research regarding that. So today's topic is, it's going to take a toll on me because I'm going to be sharing part of my story in today's topic. Today's topic is very, very, it has to do with grief. Yes, it has to do with grief. How do mothers cope after losing a child? I know nobody really wants to go into this kind of story, but I will. In 2020, when I lost my son, I thought my world was coming to an end. It took a better part of me away. Like, I literally could not concentrate anymore. I had an exam to write the following month. Like, it took the better part of me. He went away with some part of me, but here I am today doing this show. So today I'm here to speak about how people live after losing a loved one, be the child, someone close to you that you've lost. My son was the closest to me. We were very cordial. We were close. He was just too. So how do people deal with this? And how do consolers who come to console you about the loss of a loved one, your child? This really has to sink. When you go to this topic is actually because of them. When you go to console someone that has lost someone who passed on, it's a very sensitive thing. You have to be sensible. Don't go there asking too many questions. These people are already They're already drained with their lots of thoughts going through their mind at the moment, and you go bombarding them. What happened? How did this person die? Was he ill? Did the test go wrong? Why didn't you take him to this hospital? Why didn't you do this, da 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 da? Haba. Are you trying to kill the person even more, or you're trying to help them get out of the grief? Those questions are unnecessary. They're not necessary. Someone grieving needs to be consoled. You need to be subtle with your words. You don't go asking them lots of questions. Oh, that hospital is not good. Oh, why did you take them to this hospital? Oh, why did you do this? All those things are not needed. If you can't support them with prayers or make them feel good again, don't go there. I know why I'm saying this. When my son passed, I got lots of questions, a lot of unnecessary questions. So going back to those things is really, really hurtful. You don't do that to people. You don't ask too many questions. I don't know. If you've been through this kind of thing before, how did you come out of it? Because even now, this moment, I think about my child every time. But my consolation is I know he's with God and the struggle has ended and he's doing really great with God. I know in my heart. This takes me to another level again. Nigerian hospitals. What is your problem? Employing incompetent nurses, so rude, lack empathy. You know, a nurse told me at the emergency unit there was no space. This woman had no compassion at all. No space. We were in a private hospital. We were referred to a government hospital and they messed us up. My son gave up in the ambulance. They messed us up. The nurse, she blatantly refused to listen to us. Even if I had someone there that needed to talk with her, she refused. You know, there is something between, if she had even listened and said, let me get someone to stabilize this child, then we can now look for what to do. This woman refused. She totally refused. Like, that is the height of evil. She was wearing a small hijab. I can still picture her face, what she looked like. This world is so wicked. So if you take a job and you don't have passion for the job, don't do it. Don't do it. That is the height of wickedness. That is the height of wickedness. So Nigerian health centers, you have to do better. You have to do better. So that's how my son passed. And going back to how I lived afterwards, I became close to God. You know, going back to it, how did I come out of it to become this now? It took the grace of God. It's not an easy thing. It's the most terrible thing in life to lose your child. You know how I used to envisage having all of them all grown up. But God knows best. So if you're watching this and you've gone through something like this before, kindly share in the comments how you dealt with grief after losing your child or your loved one. It is well. You have to get out of it. You have to move on. All they need is prayers. You have to remember them in the best way you can. Don't let it hold you down. Yes, you have to remember, because there are other kids there for me to look after. I didn't want to be wearing the sad face all over the place. So I had to brace up. If you're watching this, it will never be your portion. You will never lose any of your children. They will grow to become what you want them to be, or what they want to be. They will achieve all of their dreams by the grace of God. And I will no longer cry over any of my children by the grace of God. That is the closed chapter. Thank you very much for watching.